Hello, my story weavers. Okay, so November challenge. Hope everyone enjoyed the October challenge that we did that was all based around consistency. And that was strategic because this next challenge in November is going to be all about a specific goal. So now your consistency muscle has been worked. You've been like aiming, just showing up for your work every single day or as often as you can, which is the goal, right? We're looking for progress, not perfection here. For November, some of you might be aware of the challenge called NaNoWriMo or Novel November that I think it's Pro Writing Aid does every year in November. So I want to have something similar so we can all kind of feed off of this energy of where a lot of writers are. But NaNoWriMo is kind of notorious for pushing you to like a breaking point and giving you a lot of work that is not usable, because usually we're just like trying to finish the challenge and we're putting a bunch of things together and not really thinking through what we're writing. And so then we end up throwing half of it out anyways, and it doesn't quite serve its purpose. It's a lot of energy, it's a lot of time and writing that a lot of times doesn't get us very far. So, and I don't know too much about Novel November, but I'm assuming it's roughly the same type of vibe. Instead, and also we're also all in a lot of different phases, right? We have some people who are in ideation, some in drafting, some in editing. So for November, we're going to have this November writing challenge that's revolving around a goal. And so if we were to look at like NaNoWriMo, that is 50,000 words written in November, which is a lot, but maybe 50,000 feels like, oh yeah, no, that's no problem for me, then wonderful. That is what you can do. But like I'm in editing right now. So writing 50,000 words is kind of counterintuitive to where I'm at. So instead, we're going to pick the specific goal. For example, my goal is going to be to work on my editing of my book for 2 hours per day. And how I came up with that goal is an hour a day feels easy to me. That feels very approachable. So I'm going to double it. Something that feels a little bit more like, ooh, can I do that? I don't know. That seems like a lot. But also, like, it's not like it's taking up all my day. So it's like not like I'm writing for 4 hours a day or anything like that. But it's a little uncomfy. And that's where I want you to try and work. Try and find that goal that's a little uncomfy. If writing 500 words a day feels uncomfy for you because you're not used to writing a lot or whatever, then that's your goal, 500 words a day. Also, caveat, I'm doing it 5 days a week because my weekends are for me. So I'm only going to do it Monday through Friday. The weekends are not going to be included in my goal setting. So if you find, okay, I am so busy on the weekends, we're doing so much stuff, I can't do this, I can't be doing the stuff on the weekends. Maybe you've got kids and kids kind of take over your whole weekend, then that's totally fine. You can absolutely do that. Instead of maybe you work full time and you're like, okay, I've got Tuesday and Thursday and then the weekend are the only days that I have any bandwidth to do anything. Then those are the days that you do it. The whole thing about this community is to learn how to find your way of doing things, figuring out your method of writing and writing from an intuitive space and not writing from a space of like, well, I should be doing this because Stephen King says this, or I should be doing that because Anne Lamott says this. Like, we're not putting ourselves in a box. We're finding our own container. This is what I want you to do. First, look at what your goal might be. If you're in ideation, maybe you work on your outlining and your goal is to have your entire book planned out by the end of November. And then say, okay, well, how much time do I need for research, for outlining, for character development, for any of those things? And you're going to set that time period for your ideation. If you're in drafting, then maybe it's a word amount saying, okay, I'm going to write a chapter a day, or I'm going to write 1,000 words a day. then that may be your goal. And then you know about my editing goal. But find something that is just outside your comfort zone, because that is where we grow. That is where we evolve as humans. So you're going to, if 500 words feels comfy to you, then maybe push that to 1,000 words and really dedicate yourself to, okay, I'm writing 1,000 words a day. If 3 days a week feels approachable to you, try for 5 days a week. The whole point of this is to go through a growth phase in your writing. So pretty simple, pretty standard for a November, but just a little bit more adapted to you and where you are, because to sit there and write 1,500 words a day for a lot of people is a lot. So we're taking this whole like NaNoWriMo theory and we're making it more for you. So let me know what your goals are. This is also a challenge that you may not need to post your challenge every single day. If your goal is to write 3 days a week and hit that 1,500 words 5 days a week, then that's what it is. Maybe it's a weekly goal. You know, maybe you do like, okay, every week I want to write 5,000 words a week. And then some weeks you have one day where you spend 5 hours writing, versus other weeks you'd cut it into pieces and stuff. That's what I did when I was drafting, and it was really helpful for me because it gave me that flexibility that I needed while also giving me some structure. So let me know down below what your goal is, and then just show up in the community and cheer each other on, and let's see how we can help each other rise and grow and become better writers and get these books done and out into the world. Okay, let me know in the comments what you're doing.